Good evening everyone, it's Raidhyn, and tonight I'm going to be playing my first Let's Play of Dungeon of the Endless. Now this is a game that I had backed about a year ago, I think, when it first came into early access on Steam. I haven't played it much since then. I know that it's pretty much quintupled, if that's a real mathematical term, in size, and I'm kind of excited to see what the game is like now that it's completely launched. I did take a quick peek at it earlier, and for those of you who aren't familiar with Dungeon of the Endless, it's made by Amplitude Studios, which is a development studio that is essentially known for all of their strategy games that end with the word endless. So there's have the word endless in it, so Endless Space, Endless Legends, and Dungeon of the Endless are just a few of their titles. And what's interesting about it is it all takes place in the same game universe, and all of the games have some sort of strategy component. With Dungeon of the Endless, it's kind of like a weird mixture between a strategy game, tower defense, and turn-based RPG, and roguelike, where you have random elements every time you play, and the rest of it. And apparently I've got some sort of dog character. I've never seen this before. Ayari Waerid, born the seventh pup of a seventh pup of a seventh pup, yet unable to count higher than 1-2 lots. Ayari's glorious future was unlocked when prions from the lab of Argia slightly altered her brain structure. Now by far the smartest being in Argia, she hangs out with the dungeon's merchants and ex-investment banker discussing stochastic differential equations in the Black Skulls model for option pricing. Alright, I've never seen or heard of this, which is interesting. Not a lot of defense, but that's okay. Lucky hero is able to get out of the enemy zone. Monsters don't slow down the hero, so maybe we'll use him to scout. We do have another more regular hero, Gork Butcher Korosor. An enormous, powerful man with a violent temper and an angry face. Every sentient human that has ever met Gork has been terrified of him. When in a bad mood, he has been known to pull the arms off animals, people, and construction equipment. So I'm going to be kind of taking this slow just so I can talk through some of the things that I'm doing if this is the first time that you've seen this game. I don't know if you are stumbling upon this video because you subscribe to my channel, and if you do, that's awesome. And maybe you haven't seen this before, or if you're looking for Dungeon of the Endless videos, but I am going to do that thing that everyone does in their first video and try and talk through some of the basic mechanics. So essentially, up here in the top left, you can see we have this breakdown of different resources, and there's industry, science, food, and dust, which is kind of the currency. And these resources are consistent throughout all of Amplitude Studios games, which I think is really cool. Now in Dungeon of the Endless, basically this plus sign here tells us how much of these resources we gain every time we switch rooms. So as we progress through each floor and we open doors, we can see here where my cursor is, there's a door we're about to open. We will basically gain more of these resources that we can then use to upgrade our defense items. Our characters themselves can level up in addition to also researching new technology. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to kind of talk through it as we play. So each turn you basically spend by going from room to room, and at the end of the turn, or basically once you've cleared a room of monsters, as you saw we just fought one there, you have the opportunity to build things. So down here, if you click, you can pick a large module which can get placed on this big glowing blue module locator. And right there I just kind of lit up the room. If you can see, you can kind of turn these on and off. And if you look at our dust, basically we can power 3 rooms right now, and as we get more dust, we can power more rooms. So I like to start off on the first floor, putting down a food replicator because I like to be able to level up my guys early. And we'll also go ahead and put down a prisoner pod, which is kind of the basic defense item that you start off with. So it only costs 3 industry, and we'll probably be exploring and then retreating. So kind of what I like to do is head in the same direction for as long as possible, and then kind of retreat back and get both my heroes in the same room together so that damage gets split. I think it looks like our dog friend here has a has a hammer in his mouth, which is kind of cool. And we're gonna go ahead and send him to explore. So enemies will spawn randomly. The whole game is randomized, whether we find enemies or, like in this case, we found a research machine. So as we get higher science as we move through this floor, we'll be able to pick up one of these potentially very useful items. So it looks like they're kind of split up between something that's more tactical, something related to health, something that's straight up for damage, and something that is for defense. We'll come back to this as we continue to clear the floor. But basically, if you power down a room, there's a chance that enemies... this room is powered by a mysterious force. That's pretty sweet. If you power down a room, enemies will spawn. If all of the rooms are lit up the way that ours are, and we can kind of see which rooms are lit up here, if we zoom out to our tactical map. If the rooms are lit up, you don't have to worry about enemies spawning there. So we can kind of, I'm hoping we can use this point right here as kind of a more mysterious force power. That's incredibly useful. It's kind of like a central choke point, because the whole idea is that the monsters are trying to come down here to destroy this crystal. And the goal of each level, I probably should have mentioned this earlier now that I think about it, but the goal of each level is to pick up this crystal and take it to an exit. Now, you have to explore the floor that you're on to find that exit, but once you find it, you kind of have this mad scramble where everything starts attacking you. There's a huge wave of monsters, and you have to make this mad dash to the end of the floor. Let's take a moment, and I think we'll have enough to level up some of our guys here. It looks like we have enough to level up our scout, which we will do. Got a new passive skill, Dust +1 by Room with Dust. So as he scouts, we'll pick up more dust, which is really nice. And it looks like we got Prison Soap. With the look and texture of volcanic stone, this doubles for personal hygiene and self-defense. So we'll give this to our hero, Gork, the Butcher. And we'll power up this room just so there's no surprises, and then we'll keep going. So I have no idea why, excuse me, why I got this dog character. Now I was one of the earlier purchasers of this game when it came out on Steam, so it is possible that I might have a few extras based on my early access Steam support. But because, like I said, I haven't really been following this game too closely, up and see that warning sign, we can see that a couple enemies spawned here in this dark room. But the exit isn't this way, so we're gonna want to check up here. I'm really enjoying this. The dog seems to be pretty strong, which is awesome. He doesn't have any defense, but his speed is so high. What is speed effect? Movement speed. Okay. Size bonus. Attack cooldown. Maybe it's just that he's... It's interesting. But he's making a good scout. Now you can pick up new characters as you progress along with the game. You have a chance to be able to find things like merchants. We're going to pause here for a second because I want to drop a module. You can find things like merchants and chests. As you saw, we picked up a chest earlier with the soap in it, and you can also find other characters that you can then give dust to or other resources to kind of recruit onto your team, and it ends up being quite useful. Alright, so let's take our trusty dog and we'll explore up here ways. Hopefully we can get some more dust. No dust, but we did get a new item, which is fantastic. And honestly, I think one of the things that I'm most excited about playing this now is that when I played it when it was first released to early access, it felt really incomplete and kind of imbalanced. And I know that Amplitude Studios is a studio that's essentially built itself on kind of involving their communities in the game development process. They have this whole system they call Games Together, where they basically allow the community to vote on what type of things should be added to the game next, and what type of gameplay elements the community is looking for. They've even allowed the community to design certain monsters and items and all those kind of things. And I really like that philosophy. I think the whole concept of involving your community from the onset is something that's very powerful, and it's something that I feel is really beneficial to smaller studios of the indie variety. So we're gonna use our active ability here, which gives them damage up. And in the top right, we can kind of monitor the health, and they've added this nice big green emergency health bar. So you can spend food mid-fight to kind of boost your heroes back up to normal. Let's see what we can pick up. We do have 34 science, so it looks like we can pick up a viral injector. Spreads disease, not social media alerts. Quite nice. And we also have Auto Dock Shards. Adds health regen. Interesting. So this would be useful if we were going to be for like setting up a choke point. Would be really, really useful. And this, I feel like it would be damage over time, 22 HP per second. You know, I'm going to say it's not going to be useful on this floor, but I feel like picking up a really defensive module is kind of important. I don't think we need to build one here. I believe, we'll find out if we manage to clear this floor, but I believe that all of your resource points carry over from floor to floor. So the less we spend here, the more we'll have to spend next. So this is our exit icon. So the exit is up here. Now we could make a dash for this now, but I kind of want to explore the rest of this floor. Just because it feels kind of prudent to do so. I'm not sure what the mechanics are. Oh, looks like we have some spawned monsters, so we're going to go ahead and get back down here real quick. Use our active ability. We'll keep a close eye on the health bars here, but I think we're going to be okay. I feel like this dog is doing wicked attack damage. Might just be my imagination. I'm not 100% sure. Let's zoom out and check our map. Alright, so it looks like we have one more room to explore, so let's go check that out. I feel that kind of exploring the entire map is a concept that's pretty consistent across all roguelike games where there's an element of randomness involved. But I think for this, what we're going to do is we're going to have the dog move, and I call him the dog because he has a really strange name. What's his name? Ayari? We're going to move it. Ayari. We're gonna have him be the carrier. So all we're gonna do is, I think we can drop. Let's drop another prisoner pod or two along the way, because what's going to happen is we're basically going to get attacked from every single room that is powered down. So we'll try to load up this room, which is good. And then, yeah, we're just gonna have to make a break for it essentially. So when you want to pick up the crystal, you can click down here and this icon pops up, and then whoever you have selected, you just click it and he's gonna come down and pick this up, and then we're gonna see the mad dash of enemies coming to get rid of us. So I'm not sure if on the tactical map. Oh, and it started and I haven't moved him. Okay, so we just want you to move to the exit. And it seems like we're doing an okay job so far. Where's our guy? So when you're picking up the crystal, once you've picked it up, you move painfully slow. So you kind of have to bunny hop along with your second character to kind of provide cover. Alright, get up there. Oh man, you're almost as slow as he is while he's carrying the crystal. That's incredibly painful. Alright, but it looks like we're doing okay on damage. I'm actually wondering at this point if I accidentally started the game on too easy, because this floor has felt pretty easy. Whoa, whoa. No, don't. Enough with the dying. Why? What's happening? Oh no! Why did we not... Oh, shoot, did that... You know what? I think I might have had to have that room powered for the exit to activate. that could be. I'm not entirely sure. But one of the things about Dungeon of the Endless, and part of the reason why I'm thinking about doing a Let's Play series on it, is because, as you just saw, I'm really bad at this game. And whenever I'm bad at a game, I get interested in it, especially when I think the general design of it is really solid. And I think that Dungeon of the Endless has a lot of interesting gameplay to offer, and it's something that I would like to be able to play through a bit more and kind of understand, just because when a game is very, very challenging, that makes me want to play it all the more. So, in any case, thank you guys very much for watching. If this is something that seems interesting to you and you would like to see more, please let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me play some more of this game. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.